Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here with me watching NXT TakeOver New York, Brooklyn, whatever this is going to be called. This is going to be a very fun show. I'm not getting to watch this live because of the time that I got off work. I had to sell the fish today. But I'm really pumped up in order to watch this. I had sat here, I watched the pre-show, and I got involved with everything that was going down to make sure I knew all the backstories about everything that was going to be going down tonight. So I'm really looking forward to this show. In the opening of the match, we had Tyler Breeze going up against Jushin Thunder Liger, making his WWE debut. I will say that, honestly, Tyler Breeze had a very cool intro, but once the ring work started to happen, Tyler Breeze looks really different, and I don't know if it's because they're shooting this different because it's in such a large arena, being in the Barclays Center, but you could definitely tell that Breeze isn't dyeing his hair the normal color that he dyes it. I don't know if the Wrestling Observer rumor that somebody wrote in and asked about was true, that Vince has banned hair dye, but you can tell that Ziggler and Rollins have both stopped dyeing their hair. But here's another guy that you can add to the list of not dyeing his hair. I don't know why this is. He also has not really Zack Ryder stubble, but he's starting to get like the incoming of a beard, and he looks really weird. It made him look a lot older. It made him look a lot different, and it's definitely not the Tyler Breeze that we knew, but he made an entrance looking like he was coming down the runway. They had people dressed up like they were various New York City landmarks. I don't know what the hell that was about. When Tyler came down, he had a selfie stick. He was posing with all of them, and it was very, very fun, very cool. Oh, look, Nash, X-Pac, and Scott Hall sitting in front row at the show. You can't go wrong with that. But in the opening match, we had Jushin Thunder Liger wrestling against Tyler Breeze, and the Tyler Breeze took the fight to Jushin Thunder Liger. He was beating him down, but every time that Liger sort of got the advantage, he went up to the top rope. He was really wanting to hit his flipping shit, what the hell is the name of the move? He never got to hit it. One time he came off, and basically Breeze was able to get the feet up and was able to block the move. The other time he climbed up to the top rope, and Breeze bailed out of the ring in time. Breeze was sort of, taking time to get his breath from the outside, and Liger surprised him, hitting off the top rope, plancha off the top rope, knocking Breeze out, and then he did the big old Liger pose. Coming around the ring, they get into the ring, they start fighting for another few seconds, and Liger hits the Liger bomb right there in the middle, covers them with his foot on his shoulder, 1, 2, 3, pins him right there in the middle of the thing. I was really surprised that they would give Liger the win over Tyler Breeze, seeing how he's just coming in for what looks like to be a one-time deal, but you never know. I think that maybe we could be seeing Liger inside of a NXT ring yet once again, seeing how Samoa Joe seems to be coming in off of his deal, only wrestling for NXT, and it's sort of going to make a bigger deal for Liger. The WWE announced that they're going to be going on the road with their own European tour, and I believe they said in December. So we'll have to see if we're going to get a rematch out of this one. But the next match coming up, Vaudevillains versus Blake and Murphy for your tag team titles. It's going to be a good one. That tag match was fucking awesome. The Vaudevillains winning the WWE Tag Team Championships from Blake and Murphy. I will tell you right now that at one point I loved the Vaudevillains. Blake and Murphy have surpassed them as being my favorite tag team. I was talking to my good buddy Freaking Yeah 88. It's Miguel, yo Miguel, letting him know that I had a Vaudevillain shirt that I don't think I've ever worn in my life. And he was even surprised that I had this shirt. But at one time I really liked these guys, but Blake and Murphy are a damn good team. Closest thing I can put them to is like the New Age Outlaws, but they came down to the ring first. They were followed by the Vaudevillains making their entrance. Once they got in there, they were sort of almost slapped in the face by Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss said basically the Vaudevillains weren't able to find anybody to sort of take her out of the match, and at that point the Vaudevillains started messing with their attire, and you could tell that they were wearing all blue, and they pointed to the back, and out came Blue Pants, making her NXT TakeOver debut. I don't know how a girl that's probably never won an NXT match that I can think of is so over, and I don't know how I didn't realize that she would be a part of this show with them recently releasing a t-shirt of her on WWE Shop, but She makes her entrance. Alexa is fucking mad, and I can tell that this chick is really good. I like Alexa Bliss a ton. I loved her as the sort of fairy princess babyface, but the second she turned heel, she got hotter, she got better. She has better facial expressions. She really fits the role that she's in right here. But the Vaudevillains, they come into this match. It was like Blake and Murphy lost all of the air that was in their tires with Blue Pants coming down there. The Vaudevillains, English took the early advantage in this match. They were going fire on everybody. And Blake and Murphy slowly got back into the match. Fight back and forth. There was a cool spot when they got all up in the corner. English hit like a double power bomb when they were fighting with English into the second rope. And I thought that was going to be the finish. There was a couple times in this match I really thought that it was going to be over. But the big win coming for the Vaudevillains. They become tag champs for the first time. I think that honestly in my mind, Blake and Murphy are really going to get these tag titles back sooner than later. They're not keeping these titles for long. Blake and Murphy are too good of a team. They're too over as heels. I don't see them getting pulled up to the main roster anytime soon. I know that's the first thing everybody thinks of as soon as you lose a title in NXT. You must be debuting on Raw next week, but we'll have to see. This was a really fun match. I'm really glad that I got to see this. This was good. I'm glad that I waited for this and didn't skip it. So I'm really excited. NXT TakeOver has a real good feel to it, and I'm really liking what's going down. New tag champs, the Vaudevillains. Hopefully they'll keep Blue Pants. She seems like she's really over. I know that she does a lot of independence and things like that, but she's got a really good role inside of NXT right now. What a match right here from Apollo Crews going up against Ty Dillinger. Honestly, I will tell you that 100% I was not thinking that it was a guaranteed lock that Apollo Crews was going to be getting the win tonight against Ty Dillinger. I know Ty Dillinger honestly is a guy with a lot of talent that has honestly just debuted at NXT as well. He's got the perfect 10 gimmick. I think that he's going to be a star, but definitely, I've never seen Yuha Nation wrestle. I've heard a lot about him from a lot of people, but man, I wish I would have checked him out before tonight because this guy was awesome. I know that a lot of people out there will be making comparisons to him, sort of looking like a lot like Bobby Lashley, but this guy does 1,000 things that Bobby Lashley could never do. I mean, he got the win tonight by doing this sort of like a backflip right on top of the guy that it was turned into a splash. This was really cool. You got to see, Apollo Crews, a guy with a whole lot of power and just, pure, just kicking ass. I became a fan tonight. This guy is going to be good. You know that Vince McMahon is in the back watching this probably for the first time tonight, seeing Apollo wrestle, and is just probably trying to find some way to put this guy on Monday Night Raw. Hell, he might even be trying to find a way to put him on SummerSlam tomorrow. If you've ever heard of the stories about Jim Cornette trying to hide Bobby Lashley in developmental, he just knew that the first time Vince McMahon laid eyes on Bobby Lashley, he was going to be moved up to the roster as soon as he could, and Bobby Lashley got promoted to the main roster sooner than he should have been. He still was way too green, and I'm not saying that about Yuha Nation or about Apollo Crews, that he is, but honestly, I'm sure everybody in the back is marking out. This guy lived up to every potential that he could. He got the win over Ty Dillinger. Ty Dillinger did get the fight in. He put some moves in. He also got a 2 count where Apollo put his foot up on the corner. But that was a good match. I became a fan of Apollo Crews, and I'm really, really looking forward to seeing more of this guy in NXT. There's 1,000 reasons to watch NXT every Wednesday night. This is just like basically, it's a pay-per-view, it's a special, but this is like a commercial. Like we do this every Wednesday for an hour. Make sure you go out of your way to watch this because this is fun. I mean, this is a really good show, and I was glad I got to see the debut of Apollo Crews because this was a fun, good match. Yuha Nation got a fan of me tonight. This was a good one. I'm really pumped up. What a battle this match was. What a battle this match was. This was a really good one. Samoa Joe going up against Baron Corbin. Honestly, in my mind, I thought that this was a very, very good match. When I watched the pre-show today, I learned more about Baron Corbin than I'd ever learned about him before. I didn't know anything about this guy. I thought he was just a big, tall guy that got into professional wrestling because it was probably just good money. I didn't know that he had a background in boxing. I didn't know that he had a background where he played professional football. He was an offensive lineman for the Arizona Cardinals. I just, the last time I got hyped up for him was a match against Bull Dempsey, and as soon as that match was done, honestly, I just sort of, gave up on this guy. I wasn't around for his heel turn in Philly, and all of a sudden here he is fighting against Samoa Joe. I know I had admitted that I wasn't the best NXT watcher for the last month, but here he is. I knew this was going to be a big match because I like two guys really going at it, and these guys beat the hell out of each other. Baron Corbin had the upper hand. Samoa Joe had the upper hand. They were battling back and forth. Next thing you know, you got it where Baron Corbin is going and he's hitting the end of days on Samoa Joe like a power bomb, but when he hits the mat, Samoa Joe almost pops up and grabs him into his judo hold for the finish. They look like Ric Flair and Sergeant Slaughter sitting there front row. Kana? I don't know who the fuck Kana is, but she's there and she's got no fucks about sitting next to Ric Flair. But this was an awesome match, and basically, they had Samoa Joe choking out Baron Corbin. Once Baron Corbin went out, the referee called for the bell, and I thought it was good because Samoa Joe got up and started, show off his victory, about being pumped that, they had got the win, and, as Baron Corbin woke up, he started grabbing at the referee saying, I didn't tap out, so you can tell that definitely there's more to come for these guys in the foreseeable future, but I think is good because it's got Baron Corbin, even though he's not a guy that I really like. He's a guy that I'm interested in and I want to see more of in the future. You can say that this is his real his first. I'm sorry. You can see that Baron Corbin has his real first loss in NXT. The last one was due to outside interference during that tournament. Here he is actually losing due to being choked out. So it is what it is, and we'll see where we go from here. Samoa Joe gets the victory due to choking him out right there in the middle of the ring. The dream has been completed. Bayley versus Sasha Banks. One hell of a match. This was awesome. This was really cool. Bayley versus Sasha Banks on this NXT show is the co-main event. Honestly, really did deliver. This was an awesome. I loved the way the build-up was. Both girls getting their entrances, then coming down and getting a ring entrance. Basically, the announcer calling them out, basically just emphasizing this is for the NXT Women's Championship. This was a big deal. Bayley was not going to let her chance go undone. Obviously, we've seen her, be the number one contender, losing to Charlotte in one of the other NXT TakeOver shows along the way. But Bayley comes out of this match, full throttle, and she's just, so gung-ho on taking Sasha down that right after the bell, she goes right after her. Oh, the one thing that I did notice about Bayley during her ring entrance was that basically she had the Dusty Rhodes hair tie, she had the Dusty Rhodes polka dots around her wrist, all of her ribbons that she wore were all black and yellow polka dotted, which it has to be for none other than for Dusty Rhodes. These girls, they squared off in the middle of the ring. Sasha was trying to talk a whole lot of game to her. But basically, Bayley just took it right to her, taking her down to the floor. They were slapping around and everything like that. Really cool spot came during the match when basically Bayley was on the outside of the ring, and for some reason Sasha Banks put her hand on top of the ring steps and then kicked it. And it looked like Bayley had broken her hand. And they spent a lot of time on the outside of the ring. The referee wasn't counting. Sasha Banks basically took it upon herself to take the fight to Bayley by running off the ropes and jumping out of the ring. It was kind of more of a babyface move that you would normally see, but it worked. She flipped over the referee. She landed right onto Bayley, and they were fighting down there on the floor. Bayley got back into the ring, and she got all fired up. There was a few spots in here where it looked like Bayley was going to win, but she could only get the 2 count out of Sasha, and you just knew that basically Bayley needed to snap. She needed that that, you know, just sort of like jolt to get her back into the match and really get her to, you know, getting going. Sasha Banks got Bayley locked into the bank statement. Bayley wouldn't give up. She was fighting, and she's fighting to make it to the ring. And much like the end of the you know, the last Conor McGregor fight, where basically Mendez had Conor McGregor pinned down onto the floor, and then he tried to slip his move into going in for the guillotine, and he, you know, sort of missed where he was trying to go, and McGregor was able to get up. Basically, Sasha was trying to re-lynch the bank statement in, and basically Bayley was able to maneuver it around to be. Basically, she turned it in to a crossface, and she was holding it in there. Sasha never gave up. She finally got her boot onto the ropes, and with the Bayley to belly, she got the 1-2-3, and she was able to get the win. It was a big moment. You had all of the girls out there. You know, Charlotte and Becky Lynch came out to you know, sort of show off the 4 horsewomen of NXT, and they basically got to see, you know, Bayley and Sasha Banks breaking down and crying inside of the ring, and you know, just really embracing each other. I know this was like sort of like the Click pulling back the curtain with Sasha Banks and Bayley sort of having a moment, but you know, more than likely, this might be one of the last chances for us to see Sasha Banks in NXT with her moving up to the main roster. You know, Charlotte and Becky Lynch wrestled in that 4-way. I'm not sure if that was taped before the network or a special, or if it was taped after this was done, but that might even be their last chance to be there. But what a match this was. It was really, really good. With the Bayley to belly. She got the 1-2-3. She rolled her up and got the win, and we really got to see something special. The new NXT Women's Champion. You know, what this means for Bayley in the foreseeable future, we'll have to see. But what a fun run, you know, from San Jose, from BTW Wrestling. She was able to get it done. So, good one. Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stephen Breach coming to you. What an end to a great pay-per-view tonight here with the Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor special. I will tell you that, honestly, this isn't the greatest match I've ever seen all time. This isn't the greatest ladder match of all time. But this was a very fun match, and I just realized that I brought this pudding in here to eat during the show, and I never even opened it. That's how good the show was tonight. There was no downtimes to really watch anything. All really good matches. All really good. All really did deliver. But this match right here, this is why we were all here. The Sasha versus Bayley match was the co-main event. But I think in my mind, honestly, I was really hoping for Kevin Owens and Finn Balor to have one hell of a ladder match here. Just for the main reason that this is a great commercial for NXT. This is something for you know, that a lot of people, that if you have the network, you're watching this because it is live. It's a big deal. And if you're watching this is the shit. You don't have ladder matches every fucking Wednesday night on NXT, but this is what gets us to here. You have really, really great matches. Even last week's NXT, that was all jobber matches leading up to the pay-per-view. It was a fun show. It's only 1 hour. It's on Wednesdays, when nothing is really else is going on now that Lucha Underground is gone. But, you know, Finn Balor is one of the most special things that there is in wrestling, and him being on NXT is one reason to make sure you go watch it, to make sure you don't miss any of this guy's matches. Owens and Balor both came down. Of course, Balor had one hell of an entrance. I think it's really cool that he does this special. We only get to see it about once every 4 months on these NXT specials. You know, I like the way now that he incorporates the NXT Championship into his crawl to the ring, where it's just set on the belt, and then he climbs down and he sort of grabs it like Gotham from Lord of the Rings would grab like the ring if he was able to get his hands on it, and he sort of carries it to the ring from there. It's a great way to incorporate it into there, but I don't see how these guys were able to go the way that they did. They beat the hell out of each other. I don't even know how the ladders were able to stand. Basically, at one point, the ladder was on the ground, and it was here, and you know, Kevin Owens took a power bomb through the support beams, and then immediately Finn Balor stacked it up and then started climbing up there. I like the fact that this was more of a scaled down. It wasn't, you know, it was WWE show, but it wasn't WWE production. I like that they didn't have the WWE orange ladders that they would have out there for Money in the Bank, or they're red or whatever color they are. These were just regular black ladders with some white tape that were wrapped around, and they sort of incorporate the color that the scheme that they went with, as Miguel was calling it, the NWO sold out colors. But a really, really fun match. You know, definitely, Finn Balor climbed up to the top. well, he wasn't even climbing up the top of the ladder. He was dragged up the top of the ladder by Kevin Owens, who had put a ladder in between the ladder and the bottom rope. And he went up to the top, and he was going to suplex Finn Balor off through it, but Finn Balor was able to fight back and be able to get the victory, and ended up Kevin Owens falling off the top of the ladder. But because of the placement of the ladder, he wasn't able to grab the ladder because he was reaching. It was farther out than where he was, because when Kevin Owens had set this up, it was for the spot for him to go through the ladder. It wasn't for him to grab the championship. He would have, hit the move and then moved the ladder over and climbed up again. But Kevin Owens was able to come to and able to go back up to the top of the ladder and attack Finn Balor, who was trying to find a way desperately to get to the belt. But he was knocked down by a kick from Finn Balor, and Finn climbed up to the top and delivered the coup de grace up the top, then went up to the top of the ladder once again and grabbed the belt to become NXT champion, well, to stay NXT champion. Kevin Owens took one hell of a beating, knew that he has to go out there and wrestle Cesaro tomorrow. A great pay-per-view, top to bottom. I believe this was 5 matches, all really good. I had a lot of fun. Hope you guys did too. Peace out, everybody. Like I said, hope this makes it where you guys watch NXT every Wednesday like I will be from now on.